Hello, welcome back and happy holidays. Today we're doing a gouache piece. I actually took this from my coloring book and I traced it onto my sketchbook because again, we're not about to draw this picture from scratch again. We're not doing that. And I'm actually coloring, I'm painting in with a base of pink. Now when I do an underpainting or an under or first layer or base layer for the paint to sit directly on, pink has been my new thing to use. Back then it was burnt umber, but I feel like any kind of pink works well for me. And I really like this illustration, and I thought it was something that would just be more focused on like skin techniques and whatnot. And it was a fun picture, by the way. This picture is about being gift wrapped. It's like, I want something for Christmas. You're gonna have me for Christmas. And it could be a little cute little couples thing too. Like, I'm gift wrapping myself. I am the gift. I am excited. Christmas is fun. And that's what I was trying to focus in on with this particular picture. And here we are doing a gouache painting of it. I am using Arteza. And I trust Arteza. That's why it's always my go-to. I'm not really that used to the jelly gouache. But I know that if it comes to me doing a gouache painting, my most trusted gouache paints that I use is gonna be Arteza. And I'm showing you guys how I actually started from a dark to light, and I didn't even think, honestly, I did not even think that it was gonna work out, simply because I'm used to doing light to dark with gouache. But I mean, it worked out just fine. And you'll see hints here and there that I have to like zoom in with my eyes for the painting instead of doing it so far away. So it does edits like that where it cuts in to the next thing without you seeing that progress or that process. Other than that, I was just like, please don't be ugly, please don't be ugly. And in the end, I ended up loving it. And this holiday season, I feel like I have a lot of projects and I love doing different types of projects, different mediums. And I've been planning certain projects to do. Like, I'm doing gingerbread house. I want to make faux Christmas cookies and I guess turn them into like fridge magnets. What else? I don't know. I'm just planning a whole bunch of things. I know last year I did the cup toppers, which I still currently do have, and I'm about to gift those. And yeah, I'm not sure what are the ones I had in mind for Christmas, but I do know that I'm doing some crafts. I am doing some crafts, and I'm doing clay crafts, and I'm not keeping it 2D, you know. I do want to delve into like sculpting and ceramics, just make it into a bigger thing. And I have been sick, so I did kind of miss the mark of like continuously making videos, but pretty sure I'm about to go on vacation from work for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so therefore I probably will be making weeks worth of videos, because I know third quarter and fourth quarter is going to be a very rough time. Here we've gotten some progress for our little gouache painting here, our little Christmas gouache. And then for some reason blue was calling my name. It said add blue. I was like, why? I'm not even used to doing cool colors, but I mean, it was a decision that I made that I was very proud of. You know, working with different browns here and there. I'm going back and forth, making sure my values are okay. Doing the body first for this person's face, because I think when I start with the face, here's what happens. When I start with the face, I zone in on it for an extremely long time, to the point that I am tired. So when it comes to doing the second part, which is the body, I'm like really kind of tired, and I'm just like, and then I start to half-ass it. So instead of doing that, I know that the face has to turn out impeccable. So therefore, I'm going to start off with the body, which is not even that much. It's just the shoulders and like the breast area. That's usually most of my artworks. It's usually, most of the time, it's going to be face, neck, shoulders, breast. Sometimes it'll go down to the waist, kind of, not really. So even though it's really not that much skin, you know, it does get tiring trying to be kind of perfectionist in your own eyes, because what looks perfect to you guys may not look perfect to me. What looks perfect to you does not look perfect to me, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm going back and forth, of course, trying to get values. I've touched that neck at least 50 times already. It's like I'm tired of looking at it myself. It's like, why is your mind like this? Especially when it comes to gouache. When it comes to gouache and oil, I'm like, look, you are my two best mediums. You are going to turn out impeccable, because that's what you guys do. Gouache and oil, your job is to make it come out amazing. When all else fails, it comes out amazing, okay? Not the hugest fan of acrylics, and I have delved into acrylics and trying to see how it works for me. It's just too much. It's too much work. People may say that for oil paint, but acrylic is just so strange in its own right, I guess. And now I've actually worked with like a cooler tone. Usually I'm very like warm yellows and like oranges and reds, kind of, with like skin tone bases. But I feel like I went with like a cooler color, even though it's still a little warm in there, because, you know, burnt sienna is pretty warm. And burnt umber tends to be pretty cool. So the mediums, when the two colors come together, they give a good balance. And I added that blue just to get a tint or a hint of just an extra added color. I'm not really sure, but I don't know, it just worked for me. It just worked. And also I like to see when people add like colors, it looks random, but for some reason it just always looks so good, and I was trying to achieve that instead of it looking random. But I put it in just little spots, little highlight spots, and I'm just like here being nitpicky, and I was going for like edgy. And you know, I noticed an art style that I really had started off with was like sharp edges. I think, I'm trying to remember who uses those sharp, was it Picasso? I want to say it was Picasso, with like the eyes not looking any way, shape, or form realistic, the edgy chin and stuff. I don't think it's Van Gogh. No, I'm pretty sure it's Picasso. I can look that up. And of course, what I did was I did look it up, and it is Picasso. And a lot of artists nowadays are influenced by Picasso, I notice. Oh my goodness, it is Picasso. I started my art like that, and I didn't really like it, because like, I mean, the style is great. It's very edgy. It's very different. Has all these values in different places. It speaks to people. But to me, in my own right, it's kind of creepy, but kind of good at the same time. But it's not really my style. It just accidentally was my style at the time when I first started. It's like, oh, you're kind of like Picasso there. I was like, that's not what I was going for. I'm not going for Picasso, but Picasso was a great artist. I'm not gonna lie. It's just not my cup of tea. But yes, continuing on. Now we have added some highlights. And I didn't want to go with like blue highlight, because, you know, I'm kind of, practicing here. I'm trying to be a great artist. Some may think I'm a great artist. But I feel like there's room for improvement, and I can always be better. And I guess it's just timing. You know, I was on and off when it came to art, my art career. And as of right now, I've been fully on, which is why I haven't gone back to school. I've been delved into this art world. But yeah, I know everybody knows that I like doing highlights with purple. That's like my go-to. But I wanted to be a little different this time. And somehow, purple's not my favorite color, but it always works its way into my artworks no matter what. And I noticed that a lot. And should that change? Probably not, because I like it. And if you haven't already noticed or known, this particular painting I did end up doing purple on it somehow, some way. And yes, it jump scare. It is completely looking almost finished there. You guys didn't even see that, but I did say earlier that I had to put the notebook, the sketchbook closer to my face so I can, zone in on where everything should go. It's hard filming and trying to make a masterpiece out of what you're filming. And I treated this like it was an oil painting. I did it section by section. I've gotten the face done, make sure the cheeks are cheeky, I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but the cheeks can be bland. I want them to be a little cheeky. I want you to see the bulbing in her smile. And I also wanted to do the rosy cheeks too. Give her that blush. Give her some kind of flesh color, flesh tone. And I made sure the eyelids and under eyes had highlights. And not often do I have eyes closed. I usually work on eyes, and eyes and eye are such a battle. We really are. We're such a battle. Like, we're so conflicted with each other. My eyes, I never think they're perfect enough. And then when I do them, I can't repeat it with the other eye. So they're more like cousins than they are sisters. Eyebrows are sisters, the eyes are like cousins, but you just know they're related. And I want them to be more like identical twins, which is not always the case. And I kind of feel like that same with eyebrows too. I want them to be identical twins. I don't want them to be sisters. But turns out they're always sisters. Maybe even fraternal twin sisters. And I made sure that the nostrils were a little bit more shown too. Here I am doing I would say like a fuchsia-y color for the blush, because us blacks, we do look good with like the purples and the fuchsias, the pinks, purples, the rosy colored. You probably don't know, but certain colors are just amazing on us, and I feel like fuchsia is one of them, and magenta is another one of them, and there's others. I just can't think of them right away, but I do know that those are my little go-tos. Here I'm trying to make sure everything is blended together, and you already know I'm not keeping those highlights as blunt as they are on those shoulders and chest. And here I'm incorporating the blue. I'm like, let me find a way to incorporate this blue in the face because it needs to be cohesive. And I'm like, yeah, perfect. Just put it in spots I don't even know they belong in, but they're just gonna go there. Totally random, totally not planned neither. Here we are. I've done the lips and I'm working on the teeth. I was like, maybe can I make her gap tooth? And I ended up not making her gap tooth. And I almost made it just one color, white. Because usually what happens is I just blur the teeth and just make it one line, just going across like a cartoon character, which is so much easier. It really is. But I did kind of add a little dimension to it, so she's a little teethy. And then I'm doing the hair, and so I don't want to risk putting too much colors in. So I'm like, let me just do the hair basic color and just have everything else be focused in on like her skin and like the bow and the gift wrapped. And let's not do anything with her hair that's gonna make it stand out too much that we won't even notice the bow and the gift wrapped around her. Oh, it'd be great if she had lights around her too. That'd be wonderful. But yes, I think she's gorge. And a little red lip never hurt, right? I really loved how this turned out. I really did. I was just like, oh, I'm so glad I did just color this. I gouached it, and I'm just so obsessed with gouache. I am. It is easier to deal with than oil because, you know, you got to do the turpentine and the paint thinner and all that stuff, all that jazz. And you got to wait for it to dry. And if you mess it up early, you got to wait for it to dry. Maybe you have to start over. If it dries, you can't just, I don't know, you can't just add and do things. But I still love it though, because it's so buttery and smooth. Here we're going with the gift wrap paper, and I noticed that, should I make it a weird wrapping way? Or I wasn't sure where I was going with this. I really wasn't. I'm like, if I add values to it, it would make it a better looking wrap on her. And then I wasn't really sure what the pattern was. I was gonna go with like a mistletoe pattern, but I feel like I'm gonna overuse that in this book or in the coloring book, or it's just gonna get overused. So I decided maybe I'll just wait for something else, another drawing that might be more perfect. I had like a plaid pattern, which I suck at painting, as I see. And the red bow, it looks velvety. Now that I look at it, it looks very velvety. I made shadows with navy blue, and then I put that purple surrounding. Look at that. And it has little Christmas elements in it. And if you didn't know, it is in this very coloring book that I created, that I got this image from. And it's available on Amazon, and it is linked below. But yes, I plan on going through this coloring book rather quickly this holiday season. And it is very lovely, and it has very vintage elements in it, because I've got to sound really classy when I'm describing this coloring book or book. And it has couples in there, and if you notice, ugly sweater is available in it. And oh look, the image we've done today is available in it as well. But yes, I bloody recommend this book, and I hope you enjoy this holiday season as much as I will, crafting and creating art. So please make sure you are subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy.